Well, thank you, Cheryl. Boy, that's a lovely. Thank you for that lovely introduction, and thank you also. We've known each other for a long time. Thank you for being such a tireless force and such a tireless advocate for the public interest in our space. Yes, yes, right. And I just want to say my sincere thanks to UCC Media Justice Ministry for this honor. It's a privilege to share this day with my fellow honorees, particularly Congresswoman Clark, who's been such a singular voice for tech equity on Capitol Hill, to Paul Farhi, longtime reader, first-time caller. But thank you for your legacy. And I did want to also acknowledge Nell Minow, who was right there, who I saw earlier today. And I don't have to tell you what an impact your father's legacy has had and continues to have on so many of us. So thank you for being here. Cheryl mentioned that I come from the I side of NTIA, and that journey started for me as an undergraduate at MIT. And I had the chance there to work with a great nuclear physicist, Phil Morrison. And Professor Morrison spent his early career developing atomic weapons, serving as part of the Manhattan Project. He then spent much of the later part of his career trying to stop the use and proliferation of the very same weapons that he had helped create. The lesson was not lost on me, right? Humanity has the power to create technologies that can improve our lives, connect the globe, tackle the big challenges that lie in front of us. But it also has the power to build tools to monitor our population, to divide our societies, to weaken the vulnerable. And the choices to build technologies for good or for evil, in service of freedom or control, to promote equity or sow division, those choices are ours. The pursuit of technology in the public interest, in the service of people, has animated most of my career. And it also lies at the heart of what we do at NTIA. Every day we encounter those choices about technology in our work about spectrum, on issues like privacy or cybersecurity, internet governance, our newest efforts to support responsible AI innovation and access while also addressing the very real risks including risks from bias and discrimination, those very real risks that it raises today. And it's a privilege to do that work. But really, nowhere is the impact of our work more apparent right now than our efforts to connect the unconnected in this country. It's hard to believe that here today in America in 2024, I know so many of you know this, but it's incredible to believe that there are still millions of people, millions of families that lack that basic high-speed internet connection that they need to thrive in the modern digital economy. We have been talking about the digital divide in this country for over 25 years. Many of you have been there all through it. And finally, thanks to the leadership of this president, thanks to the bipartisan infrastructure law, we finally have the resources to do something very serious about it. The president and the vice president have given us a very simple but ambitious mission: connect everyone in America with reliable, affordable, high-speed internet service. We call it the Internet for All Initiative, and we mean all. And that initiative, the Internet for All Initiative, is historic. And we are well on our way to delivering on it. Cheryl actually gave a pretty good rundown of our progress so far. And I'll say we've awarded billions of dollars already. We have connected tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, if you look at the broad swath of programs that the administration's implementing. We're on time and on track to deliver on our biggest project, the BEAD project, which will be the cleanup batter in our grant-making programs. But I could tell you more about that, but I actually want to just say that one of the great privileges of this job is being able to travel all around the country and meet the people who are being impacted by this work. And for me, it's all about their stories. I know a lot of you have those stories too. For me, it's about a grandmother who I met in Bunkie, Louisiana, an hour out of Baton Rouge, who was literally trembling with rage and frustration about how hard it was to connect her grandchildren with Zoom school during the pandemic with a shaky wireless connection. It's a teenager named Ali who I met outside of Phoenix, who cut school early with a couple of his friends to go to a place to get refurbished laptops because they were sick of doing their homework on a phone. It's another grandmother who I met in Tanana, a native community on the banks of the Yukon River in the middle of Alaska, who literally is paying over $500 a month for terrible internet service. It's it's Chris, who I met a couple weeks ago in Holly, Michigan, who's a former auto worker who's now on a factory line building the OLTs, the equipment that's going to go into the networks that we're paying for. That work's being done now in the United States. There are so many stories like that. You have your stories too, but those are there are millions more like them. And the truth is that the work that we are doing, the work that you all are doing, is changing their lives. And that is a very rare privilege in service, to have that opportunity to really make that kind of impact on people's lives. All of this is why I'm so pleased today to be receiving this award named for Newton Minow. His speech on television and the public interest may be best known for the term vast wasteland, but his focus on the public interest could apply to all of the technology challenges that we face today. Minow called on us then, as we are called on today, to embrace the critical role that government must play in ensuring that new technologies, television or AI or otherwise, serve the public interest. Minow understood that, Everett Parker understood that, and they both fought for it. And that fight continues. Those of you gathered here have been carrying that torch, some for many years. At NTIA, our mission is to create a better connected world, and our staff, current and former, are deeply committed to that mission. I know many of them, a lot of them are here in the room, a lot of them are watching online. So while I am honored and humbled to receive this award, I just want to say I really share it with all of them. Thank you for your service. To conclude, I'll just say, and if you've heard me speak out in the States recently, you've heard me say something like this, because I do really believe that this is a once-in-a-generation moment of opportunity. We will not get these resources again to connect everybody online. And generations before us did really big things, right? They connected everybody in the country with electricity and with water. They built the interstate highway system. This is our generation's big infrastructure moment. This is our chance to connect everybody in America with what they need to thrive in the modern digital economy. It's going to take a huge amount of work. We need everybody to do their part. The coming months and years are going to be critical in this program, and we need this community's attention to help make sure that these programs are as impactful as they can be. Together, I know that we can make this dream of the internet for all a reality at last. So thank you, and thank you so much.